dudes, I'm Hilah, and today on Hilah Cooking we're making gummy worms. Excuse me. We're making gummy worms. We're gonna sweeten them with juice so they're kind of healthy and they'll be perfect to freak people out, just really little kids I mean, on Halloween. First thing you'll want to do is set some water in the kettle to boil, and then we're gonna get our worm molds, our moldy worms. So I'm using regular drinking straws. These, I got them at IKEA, but you can get these big fat straws. They're called milkshake straws. You can get straws like this at any regular grocery store, or you can steal a bunch of them from McDonald's because they're like the big straws that McDonald's has. Got about 50 here, and just sort of bind them together with a rubber band, and then put them in a bowl or in a jar that fits them nicely. So I found that for this many, a 12-ounce wide mouth canning jar works really well. And then I've got that sitting in what's going to be an ice water bath so that we can chill our gelatin really quickly. Meanwhile, I've got a cup of juice here. This is 100% juice. I'm using, what was it? I think a cranberry grape juice, but anything, I think something kind of in the red color works best to make these gummy worms look extra realistic earthworm. So I'm gonna add some sugar. And you can leave the sugar out if you wanna make them just all fruit juice sweetened. Obviously they'll be less sweet. And then we're gonna add 4 little envelopes of gelatin. You can buy this plain gelatin right next to where you find the Jell-O and stuff like that. So 1 ounce total. And then sometimes you can find like grass-fed gelatin, but that, I don't know, that would require a little bit of hunting, I think. But I know it exists. So we're gonna add 4 of these. And whenever you're doing anything with gelatin, same thing like when you're making Jell-O and everything, you wanna not drop the paper in there, but you want to make sure that you dissolve the gelatin in cold liquid first. If you don't try to dump the gelatin in hot liquid, it just gets all clumpy and it's terrible. And we'll just mix this up and it'll start looking real gross. Yeah, nasty. And then to give our worms some opacity, some opaque color, I'm adding some half and half. You could leave this out if you don't want to add dairy products to your gummy worms. I totally get it. That sounds a little gross, but it'll make them look a little more realistic. Okay, so once your water comes to a boil, I'm gonna add boiling water. And this is one time I would really recommend using one of these 2-cup Pyrex measuring cups because it'll make it easier to pour and you won't have to worry about the glass breaking with mixing the boiling water with the cold. Once that's all mixed up and it doesn't look chunky anymore, like with gelatin globs in there, I'm gonna add some water to this little ice situation here. And then you just wanna carefully pour a little bit less than half of this liquid into the straws. If you can get straws that are like white or light colored, that makes it a lot easier to tell how full you're filling them. Try to get them kind of even. And I've tried this with the bendy straws, and they are just such a pain in the nuts to get out. I did not find it was worth it. So what we're gonna do instead is do a little 2-tone coloring to make these look a little bit more realistic. So that's about half. I'm gonna let it sit here in this ice bath for maybe 10 minutes, maybe up to 20 minutes until this first layer of gelatin sets. And then to the remaining, I'm gonna add just a couple drops of red food coloring. If you wanted to do this in 2 separate batches, if you don't want to use food coloring, you could use like 2 different types of juice or something too to get a natural color variation. So I'll see you back when this is set. Whoa! Okay, 10 minutes later, these have set. So when I move it around, it's fairly stable. So we're gonna go ahead and pour the rest of this liquid in here. Just try to get them as even as you can and try not to fill them all the way up. You wanna leave yourself at least an inch at the top. That's gonna make it a lot easier to get them out. Okay, so once they're pretty much filled, we can take this out of the water bath. And you just want to find a nice spot in your fridge where you can leave it alone for overnight until the gelatin fully sets. See you tomorrow if you survive. So we all made it. Congratulations, no one died. This is our set gelatin. So I'm going to put it back in my ice water and then pour some warm water around it. Get that loosened up so I can pull it out of the jar. It's gonna make an awesome sound. Gross. Sounding like a wet fart. You can run them under hot water, or just kind of dip them, or kind of just roll them around in your hands. I kind of hate it when you're supposed to run things under hot water because it just seems like such a waste of water. So I always try to find another way to do it that may not be quite as efficient, but at least I'm not pouring water down the drain. Okay, enough environmental proselytizing. Okay. So then, this is why you want to leave yourself a couple inches at the top so you can kind of pinch it and you just squeeze it out. See, we got an awesome two-tone earthworm. I'm gonna do a couple more because those are fun. And if they're sticking, they just need to be a little bit warmer. Will probably look a little raggedy, but you'll get the hang of it. So there we go. There's how to make some mostly all natural gummy worms without corn syrup or anything like that. And look, I think they look really realistic. Gross. Okay, well check out, I did a eyeball punch for Halloween last year, and I'll also post a link to my Halloween playlist so you can see all of those. And let's suck this down. Delicious. Actually, just tastes like juice. Not bad. Have a happy Halloween, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends if you like this video. Share it with them. Okay, bye.